Hey guys, Itaewon Sammy. I am back, baby, live and in full effect on the rooftop patio. This is my rooftop patio. For those of you who don't know me, check out my previous video on introduction into my apartment and my rooftop patio. I live, as you can see, very close by to the Hyatt Hotel Namsan. And today I thought I'd talk about finances. I got a lot of great comments from some great people who understand finance and understand how to save money. And I'm just going to expand on that. Okay, so this is my life coach session, deep dive into finances. Okay, now here are my credentials. Zero. I don't have any knowledge. I'm not even this is not even scripted. This is just totally off the cuff. This is my personal experience that I am imparting onto you about how I, as this person, have not become successful, or I'm on the path to success. All right, so here's a little background. 52 years old. I'm a Canadian citizen. And I worked my butt off at a full-time career in the telecom business in Canada, in Toronto, selling telecom solutions for Bell Canada, the biggest telephone company in Canada. I was an executive. I managed huge accounts. I worked my way up from a telemarketer all the way up to an account executive, and I was making six figures, and I was spending like six figures. And at the end of it, in 2007, when I burned out and I quit my job and I got divorced, and the 2 years that I just kind of meandered around, finally making my decision to come to Korea in 2009 and leave all that stuff and just be an English teacher, making X amount of dollars and getting into the club business, working there, making good money, having fun. I kind of had a semi-retirement for the last 10 years. But I didn't save. I didn't have a pension. I didn't have any savings. My divorce wiped all that out. The market crash of 2007 wiped all that out. How did I survive to here? What mistakes did I make? So this is going to be all the mistakes I made in my 20s and 30s. Okay? So number one, credit card. I got a credit card. And my parents both work in banks, in finance. So they taught me, or tried to tell me, how to do it smart, how to be smart with my money. But I didn't listen. I always thought, oh, I'm going to make more money next week or next month or next year. So I always put it on the credit card. And I paid, a little bit of, if I put $1,000 on the credit card, I'd pay like, $500 and carry over $500. I figured that would be okay, but it's not. And I'll tell you why. Because something always comes up. And when you feel comfortable in spending money you don't have, you don't see it, you don't touch it, you don't feel it, you lose track of what it is, and it runs away from you. So here is my number one advice. Don't get a credit card. If you do, look at my previous episode 2 on how to spend money wisely. Use the credit card smart, which is use it to buy the item, come home, and pay it off right away. 100%. Do not carry over a balance. Do not wait till the 20 days or 28 days or whatever. Pay it off right away. Save the cash first, then use the credit card to get the points. Okay? Number 2, and most important, I cannot be more clear about this, okay? Where's the lens? All right, I cannot be more clear about this. Write things down. Write a budget. Here is the secret of my future success. It's the pyramid. Set a goal and then work backwards from that goal. Work backwards. I have a goal of saving $100,000 in the next 1,000 days. So what did I do? I have this Excel spreadsheet program that I created that I've been using. It's just a simple spreadsheet. On one side I have, eating out, miscellaneous expenses, entertainment expenses, groceries, rent, utilities, cats, cell phone, insurance, all of those monthly expenses, which I know exactly how much they are. Last year at this time, I spent X amount of dollars on electricity. So this month, I know exactly how much I'm going to have because it's the same as what it was last year. I know when my insurance is due. I know when my rent is due. I know what my cell phone is. I know what my grocery bill is. Okay? And I budget a little bit for entertainment costs. Right? And then I know how much I'm earning. And it comes in on this side. And then you take the plus and you take the minus, and then you put it over here as to how much is left over. Okay? And every time you spend, you put it in here and you watch that number go down. Okay? Then you carry that over into the next tab. So if you saved like $500, that carries over into the next month. Okay? So you get to project how much you're saving every month. Okay? And I have done that till November 2023, which according to my calculations, based on my previous spending, my current job, and my projected expenses, which I know because they're the same every year, I will save $110,000 by November 2023, which is my end date, 1,000 days. Okay? So some people say, all right, okay, so how do I do it? Well, number one, write it down. If you don't have it written down, it's not real. Okay, you have to have it written down. You have to have a contract with yourself. If you don't have this contract, it's here and it's just kind of like, I'll do it next time, or I don't really remember. You have to track. Okay? We live in a world where everything's on the smartphone. You know what's going on. You know at the end of the day, you come home, okay, I spent $2 on coffee, $5 on this, $20 on that, etc., and you plug it into your Excel spreadsheet. Either you do it on Excel or you download one of the many, many free applications that are out there that are even connected to your bank. Right? Then you set a target. Okay? You set a target. You've heard this before. Pay yourself first. Now, if you work at a full-time job, you can enroll in their pension program, which takes money out before taxes. So let's pretend you make $1,000 a month. Well, the government will tax you on $1,000 and let's pretend you'll get $900 in your bank account because the government took whatever, okay? $900. Now, if you take that $1,000 and you take out $10 and put it into a savings before it's taxed, then the government will only tax you on $990. So you'll still take home $900. That $10 that went into your retirement savings account is untaxed until you take it out at the age of 60 or 70 or whatever. So it's a deferred tax, yes, but the idea here is you're still taking home that $900. That's what you're living on. You're living on your take-home pay. That's how you got to think, okay? So if you enroll in that, and then some companies do like a stock at Bell, what we used to do is take 10% of our pay and put it into the stock plan. The stock plan then went into the retirement account. So it was taken out before taxes, and then the company would match. So instead of $10, I have $20 in stock, which goes up. There's the smart thing to do, which I didn't do. Third thing that you gotta do, you have to do this, is you need to be frugal. I'm gonna do another video in about a couple weeks on how to retire by 35 if you're 20. Compound interest. This is the smartest thing you could ever do. And there's so many videos out there and so many articles. If you saved $100 a month from the age of 20 to the age of 30, $100 a month, and you put it into a retirement account and it compounded interest, and you stopped putting money in at the age of 30 till 55. And I started at the age of 30 until I was 55. So you put in money for 10 years and you stopped. I put in money for 15 years, $100. You would still have more money than me after 25 years. Okay? Why? Compound interest. It's the simplest idea out there. Now, obviously interest rates are not very good these days, so you got to find the best vehicle for your money. Now, is that mutual funds? Is that bonds? Is that stocks? That's up to you to decide. I'm not going to go into it. The number one thing is, if they say they'll earn like 5%, you got to figure out what is their fee. If their fee is 2%, you're only getting 3%. Okay? So you have to figure out where the fees are incorporated into your savings plan. Okay? That's the most important thing. Number 3, there is no such thing as good debt. A house is not good debt. It's debt. Okay? You got to figure out what is the best way for you to spend your money. Okay? So there are graphs out there, and I've seen them, renting or buying. Okay? In the short term or in the long term. Okay? So if you're renting, your rent is could be always lower. If you're buying, you have to pay tax, you have to pay maintenance and mortgage. Okay? You have to, right? And then hopefully your home will appreciate in value over the course of 25 years. But if you're paying rent, you have this amount of money. So you're paying this much to buy your house, and you're paying this much to rent your house. This much you have left over, which you can invest and earn money. Okay? When I first came to Korea, I had a lot of disposable income. I had a lot of money in me. So what I did was I got a big apartment. I got a 3-bedroom apartment. Cost me, it was an older apartment in an older part of Itaewon. I can't even remember. Actually, it was probably down there somewhere. But it was really nice, and it was big, huge living room. Okay? Not a traditional Korean house, because Korean don't have huge homes. They have a small home and they go out, because that's the Korean style, and because it's cheap to go out here. But you know, I'm Western, I like to have people over to the house, and this is the idea I got. Let me get a 3-bedroom house and let me rent out 1 room. Now, who do I rent to? Well, these teachers, they come here after their first year. They don't really like the little office tel that they get. It's a small studio apartment that the company pays for, usually not very well kept, older, depending on the school you go to, all right? But they want a bigger place. Now, they don't have deposit money, because in Korea you have to pay $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 deposit money. They don't have that kind of money. Number 2, they don't have money for furniture, right? Because their apartments come furnished. They don't know they don't speak Korean, they don't do all of these things. So I thought, okay, why don't I rent a furnished, fully inclusive, serviced room? Everything's included. Toilet paper, laundry, everything. Maid service, internet, electricity, all of that stuff. You just bring your sheets and your pillows and your clothes and your food. That's it. So that's what I did. Now, these teachers, they're getting $400 or $500 a month to, instead of staying in the apartment that the company gives them, they'll give them $400 or $500 a month. So I rented it out for $800 a month. My rent is $700. I paid about $100, $200 in fees, like in utilities and stuff, and then toilet paper and laundry soap and whatever. That's just pennies, right? So I was making money on my apartment. I was basically living rent free. Now I had to furnish it. Cost me a couple, $400 or $500 for a bed and a chest of drawers. I had to pay the deposit money, which I get back at the end of the lease. But instead, I lived rent-free. So that money that I would have spent on rent had I lived in a smaller apartment, I got to, in that time, I got to spend. Because I was living a semi-retirement. I was working only enough to pay my bills, which at that time was zero. I basically had no bills, except my entertainment costs. So I did that for a couple of years. There's an idea that you can think about, okay? And that's what a lot of people did, is they rented an apartment, they bought a house with a basement and then finished the basement to help pay for the mortgage. That's a smart thing to do, right? A very smart thing to do, which I didn't do. I should have done that, but you know, whatever. So here it is that what do you take away from this is my personal experience. I made all the mistakes I did everything wrong in my 20s and 30s. I overspent, I lived beyond my means, I didn't invest properly, I didn't pay myself first, all right? And I made bad investments, okay? What am I doing now to correct that? I'm writing everything down. I'm following a budget. I have $100 to spend on entertainment, that's all I spend. When I spent it, it's done. I don't overspend. Number 3, I budget for my future. If I need to buy glasses, I know they're $400, I will save that money and then buy the glasses in October, November, okay? Next week I'm gonna talk about working. How do you earn more money in today's economy? What do you gotta do to save more money? And I'll give you a preview. There's 2 things you can do. You can cut your lifestyle or you can increase your income. So we're gonna talk about that next time, okay? I really wanna thank everyone who commented on my last video. I got a lot of positive comments from a couple of guys who are finance guys. I'm sorry I didn't write down your names because it's on my phone. I'm using my phone, so I don't remember. But I looked at your YouTube channels, and you guys are finance guys, and I really appreciate you taking the time to watch my video and listen to what I have to say. If you have any ideas or comments, or you want to comment on everything I've been saying, please post a comment before, like, or subscribe. I really, truly appreciate it. Everybody, please stay safe, wear a mask, wash your hands, and keep safe. We will see you again next time. Itiwan Sammy, living the life. I'm out.